What's going on YouTube? This is Rybo at the bench here with another cut or carry watch review. Today looking at the Seiko SARB033. So this is really exciting to take a look at. This was lent in from my buddy Russ. So I just reviewed the Seiko SARB017 a little while ago, and so it was really awesome to be able to check out the 033, which has also been kind of on my list of watches to check out. Excuse me. So a couple specs on this watch. So 38 millimeter case, 38 millimeter case, 20 meter, oh my goodness, 20 millimeter for the strap size here. This is on a toxic NATO shiznit, which is not what it comes on, obviously. This is the bracelet that the watch comes on. I have a tendency to scratch bracelets, so I decided to wear it on a NATO. But this seems like a very nice bracelet, kind of classic Seiko deployant, which is nice. Yeah, so it comes on this. I'm wearing it on a shiznit. These retail between $400 and $500, I believe, so it is kind of in that upper end of the Seiko dress or versatile dress watches. You have a 100-meter water resistance, which is very nice on a dress watch. Sapphire crystal, and this has the 6R15 movement, which has, I believe, a 50-hour power reserve, which is very nice. So let's go ahead and get into it. I have just the SKX on wrist today. So just as a comparison, you can see 38 millimeters, my goodness, versus I believe 42 on the SKX. I mentioned this before, and this will get us into the things that I like about the watch. This is just about the perfect size watch, in my opinion. A 38 millimeter watch is absolutely perfect for my wrist. It's not too small, not too large. You can easily wear it on a NATO and not worry about that double pass-through. Just in a perfect size. I said the same thing about the SARB017, and man, I love this size watch. If I could pick one size watch for the rest of my life, it would be a 38 millimeter. I think it's absolutely perfect. So that I really like. On top of that, I think that this watch is incredibly versatile. This has a nice dark black dial that is very difficult to film. But this looks like a dress watch, but it has the ruggedness of a field watch or of something that you could at least put through a little bit more paces than just a simple kind of desk watch. Because it is 100 meters water resistance, which is really nice. You have a very nice case. You have something that can look very nice, I think, on a NATO strap, but can also dress up on a bracelet or even more on leather. This watch would look amazing on leather. So all in all, just incredibly versatile. This is, I think, the SARB line is a contender for kind of a one-watch collection because it really can do almost anything. Not that you're going to want to go diving with this, but it can handle a little bit of water. It can handle some wear and tear. Just kind of a classic explorer watch, which is really cool. The case, I think, overall, and this is really the same as the SARB017, but the case is just very nice. You have very nice lines. You have, I think, very nice lugs, fairly short. In fact, let me go ahead and measure those. Let's see. So you're looking at 44.4. So really short lugs, which is really nice. That even helps the wear a little bit more. You have a nice signed crown. I think the crown itself is just spectacular, very easy to hand wind. Enough to get in, kind of get a grip on, but doesn't stick out too much. Just all in all, really nice case. I really like it. You have an exhibition case back. I can show that real quick, which is kind of a love it or hate it thing, but for me, I like it. For me, this is something that gets people into automatic watches. I am all for it. So very nice exhibition case back. Nothing spectacular on the movement. It's just a kind of typical Seiko higher end movement, which maybe not the prettiest to look at, but hey, it works, and that's kind of Seiko's thing. Let's see. Shape, crown, exhibition, case back, and 100 meters water resistant. I think I covered all of those things. The dial is another thing that I really like. So let me get a little bit close. Let me get my fingerprints off of this dial. Let me get right up close. So you can see those kind of, I think they're called Dauphine hands. These have actually almost a crosshair you can see across those, which is another added little detail that you don't pick up on at first, but you have some nice loom right at the tip of these indices as well as on the hands, which is really nice, and it's Seiko loom, so you're pretty rest assured that that's gonna hold up just fine. You have these kind of, I don't know what you would call these, but these semi-baton, although they have these little grooves in them, indices you have, which are okay. I'll talk about those in a few minutes, but it's very nice to have loom like this on a dress watch. It's not something that you necessarily notice from down here, but the fact that it has it just makes it all the more versatile. I think the dial itself is simple enough. You have a nice script automatic, and really nothing else there, which is really, really nice. Love the handset, and I love the counterbalance on the second hand. Another little detail that I think you don't pick up on at first, but it's just really, really nice. Again, it's the perfect balance between dress watch and kind of something that you could wear, that you could kind of dress down. All in all, kind of a subtle, classy dial that can be dressed up or dressed down, and I really, really like that. And then I mentioned the crown, signed crown plus a crown that's big enough to use. It's a nice departure from the classic Seiko 4 o'clock crown position to have right there at the 3 o'clock, and I think it just looks spectacular. Things that I don't like about the watch, there's only one thing, maybe one and a half. So I mentioned the baton-ish markings. I'm not a huge fan of this, like in this center groove on all of the indices and the double groove on that 12 o'clock. It just doesn't really do it for me. I would like just a straight baton. Really, really big nitpick there because it's not something that you necessarily notice. It kind of catches and plays with the light a little bit more than it would if it did not have that. But just not really something I am in love with. The only other thing is this watch is a tad bit thick. Not so much that you notice, and really, I say that, and it's 12 millimeters, 11.5 millimeters. So it's really not, I mean, it's objectively not a tad thick. It just feels like it, I think, probably because it's a smaller watch. You do have a little bit of a bubble back here. So not really an issue. I'm not even going to call that a dislike. Cut or carry for me, this would be a carry. I would love this watch. I think it's a fantastic option. I think it's a watch that can do a lot of things. It's a little bit of a higher price point for Seiko, and really at $400 to $500, you're talking about entry-level Swiss prices there. You're talking about Hamiltons and Tissot's and whatnot. So it does make it a little bit difficult, but I think it is a very, very nice watch. The price might be a little bit out there, but I do think that it, in terms of a watch, it's a great watch, and I really, really like it. Hope you have enjoyed this review, and I'll see you next time.